This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and we're doing something different, but something that you guys have asked for over and over again. You asked, what do I actually use in terms of laptops, PCs, phones, all that sort of thing. So we're going to cover it. And because, as I've warned you, this changes every 3 months, 6 months, it depends. The computers stay longer, the phones stay shorter, and I use a lot of the things that we get on loan as well, just for a short period of time, instead of using my own actual stuff. So I can actually know what they are like to live with, but I do have a few things that I actually own and I use when I can, and we're going to look at those right now. First off, this is my work Mac right here, complete with the kind of messy desk. This is the 13-inch Retina MacBook Pro. This is the middle configuration, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gig SSD, and I have it connected to a Thunderbolt display, which to me is key for using this as a work machine, because a Thunderbolt display is expensive, sure, but it gives me that second big screen to work on for web development and photo editing and all that sort of thing. And it's got ports up the wazoo. You got your Thunderbolt ports, you got your USB ports, and Ethernet, which is key because this Mac right here doesn't have built-in Ethernet. Also, it's very easy to just unplug and go when I need to do that. Just unplug the power, unplug the Thunderbolt connector, and I can take it with me, which is handy when I suddenly have to go to a meeting or a trade show and I don't have time to transfer stuff to an even more mobile product. So this has a dual-core mobile CPU. It's a faster CPU than you'll find in an Ultrabook, and it's enough to do web development, the editing of photo raw files that we do for our site where we have really nice high-resolution pictures and stuff like that. I don't use it for the video editing. Our video editor has a bigger machine for that, though I do have another machine I use when I do have to do video editing. We'll get to that one. Anyway, on top of the desk here, we have the little hidey-ho drawer here. This is all the phones that I have in for review with a nice little cleaning rag because we have to be tidy, don't we? So these are not necessarily phones that I get to keep, but these are the phones that I'm testing at any given time, and I have the high-class way of storing them right here. And if you look right over here, you'd think that I really love pens. Well, these are all digital pens, different technologies. You know, I'm the pen tablet lady. So we have Synaptics pens here. We have Wacom pens. We have some capacitive styli. We have the new Atmel pen. And yes, I actually know what each of these are, and some of them are different revisions for different display compatibility. Old Wacom pen right there. Cool little N-Trig DuoSense 2 pen. It's like the Surface Pro 3 pen, pretty much. This is the new Atmel pen that actually surprisingly works. Anyway, all of these here are the arsenal for testing for all the pen-enabled products that we review. Lots of SD cards and micro SD cards for compatibility testing right there. Bunch of Bluetooth headsets behind there for the phone reviews. And it isn't just the guys that have this silly little Android figures and stuff on their desk. I have that. I have the Star Wars things. Yeah, it's really true. And because staring at all these mobile products gets your eyes a little tired, well, the eye drops are always handy. Lastly, we have this neat convertible cable that does both Lightning and micro USB because I have both an iPhone and an Android phone. And for those of you who are wondering, who you do have iOS devices and Androids in the same house, this is made by Boxwave, and it's called the iDroid 2-in-1 cable. But woman cannot live by Mac OS alone, though I do love Mac OS and I've been using it for years, and especially when you're doing web development and you have to make sure that your website looks good on both PCs and Macs. I have the Surface Pro 3 here. This is also my favorite little travel companion. I know the 13-inch Retina Mac is not exactly huge and heavy, but this guy at about 2.4 pounds with the keyboard and being even more compact is great. I also like the touchscreen a lot, and particularly the digital pen, because I like to do artwork and drawing with this. And for Photoshop manipulation, the pen can be really key for really quick masking and other stuff like that. So Surface Pro 3, that one's also on board. And because YOLO, you know, we have the MSI GS60 Ghost Pro here. We reviewed this not too long ago, 15.6-inch gaming laptop with the NVIDIA GTX 970M. This is a killer gaming rig, but as you can see, 4.2 pounds, thin and light. So I can actually take this anywhere. As you can tell, I really like thin and light machines, but it's got the power to play the latest games on high settings. It's also great for video editing, something that my 13-inch Retina Mac, when you're doing it professionally, 1080p, not really fast enough, need a bigger screen, stuff like that. So, Ghost Pro, because you got a game. And for a little more YOLO, and also because I think it's a budget-friendly great deal, we have the NVIDIA Shield tablet here. And because you guys are always asking, I stand it in the stump stand. This is one we use for a lot of our reviews as well. And well, it's a rubber stump. It does the job. It's very nice and easy. It comes in a bunch of colors. But anyway, NVIDIA Shield tablet. Because I like the grid gaming particularly, I like the controller that they sell as an optional accessory. For $299, you get a 1080p display, a killer Tegra processor, particularly the grid gaming, so I can play some PC games right here on this tablet, and some very nice Tegra optimized games. Beyond that, you know, it's not just about gaming too. It's a full-fledged Android tablet. One of the first to get Lollipop, which counts for a lot for me because I need to be up to date with operating systems. It's got a pen here. It's a decent pen. It's an interesting pen. It's enough for taking notes, and it's fast. It's got good stereo speakers. 8-inch. Fits in your pocket, especially if you're a guy and you got big pockets. Anyway, that's the portable one and the gaming one. Now for phones, this is going to surprise some of you because I'm pretty Android-centric in my coverage a lot of the time, but main phone number one is the iPhone 6. And why is that? It's family-friendly. No, I don't mean it has Sesame Street and parental controls and stuff like that, but when you have family members who use this and they're on the iMessage system, I mean, it's family pressure, folks, right there. I mean, iMessage is pretty cool. Text messages, photos, videos, sound bites, all that sort of thing. That's enough alone. It's also one of the few powerful phones that actually fits in most of my pockets. Now, you guys with giant cargo pants, you don't have to worry about this, right? Counts for a lot. It's attractive, it's stable, there's a great app ecosystem, so it's kind of hard to beat this little phone right here. And yeah, I have a little clear case on it. I'm not much on cases, but this, I worry about scratching, so it's got a very minimal clear case on it. But woman cannot live with just small phone alone. 4.7 inches is great. And by the way, I would use the Xperia Z3 Compact if I wanted to go for Android in the small phone. But anyway, I have my big screen Nexus 6 here. So this big monster, Quad HD display, 6 inches. If I want to sit back and really read or watch a movie, I switch over to this. The thing is, I can't fit this in my pockets all the time, so that's why I don't always have it. But for any kind of serious content consumption, I switch to the Nexus 6. I love it. It also, obviously, I'm going to have the latest software updates. I got to do that. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, obviously. It's clean, it's fast, it's pretty flawless, and its compatibility with other products that we test, I just like it a lot. And we're not done yet. There's Windows Phone. I use all the major platforms, and this is the Nokia Lumia Icon, which sadly did not have a long life on Verizon Wireless, but it's still one of the nicest phones that Lumia, shall we say, Microsoft now, previously Nokia, ever made. 1080p display, really great camera. Quick, I run developer previews on this, so I usually get the latest Windows 10 preview for phones. Not available yet for this, so we're going to have a video with another phone testing that, but very nice. The reason that it's not one of my top two phones is the app ecosystem. I know for some of you that doesn't matter so much. For me it does, especially for the app testing that we do. Still a little weaker here, but really lovely phone. For reading, well, you know, a lot of us writers happen to be avid readers. I am. I read hours and hours a week. So I have the Kindle Voyage here. This is the high-end one. It's the most expensive one, I know. But it's really high resolution, very sharp, good backlighting on it, but still excellent battery life. So when I read, I really don't read on LCDs if I can help it. I do read on this. Lastly, there's cameras. The one that we use for our videos is the Sony Alpha A6000 with some very nice lenses. I would show it to you now, but, well, the person who's filming me right now would say, you can't do that. But that's what we use. For still photos, and we have some really high resolution photos on our website, mobiletechreview.com. Visit there if you haven't. We use the Canon EOS 6D, which is a full-frame digital SLR. So there you have it. That's what I'm using, February 2015. Some of the nicest gadgets around, I admit, but now you know what I use.